Hi, Mark here, trust you're well. And in today's Lightroom quick tip, I'm going to show you the difference between a snapshot and virtual copies in Lightroom Classic. But before I do that, I'd like to tell you about my live Lightroom events. Most Monday evenings I host a 2-hour live support community where over a semester we look at a theme. Now that could be a module, could be Lightroom, or it could be Photoshop. And each evening we spend around about an hour looking at a particular task and workflow within that theme. The second half of the evening is opened up to your questions, things that you need help with today. Then on a Wednesday evening, for around about half an hour, again it's live, we look at a particular task and action. So that could be tips, tricks, how do I use the crop tool and zooming, and it's a live conversation. Now if you'd like to know more about those events, just visit lightroom.support, sign up for my newsletter, and you'll get our weekly email. Now without any further ado, let's jump across to Lightroom Classic. So here I am, I'm in Lightroom Classic version 13.3. I'm in the developer module and I've done a few edits to this image. Now what is a snapshot? Well, that allows you to record a moment in time within your history of your develop panel. So I quite like this at the moment, and I can just go plus on the snapshot. I can record a snapshot and I can rename it if I wish. I'm just going to leave it as the default date and time, and it records where I am today. However, if I want to jump back through my history, so I go back to the black point and I make an adjustment, so let's now just bring the highlights down, the history gets deleted at the front, and perhaps I move a few more sliders, I increase the exposure, and I decide I don't like where I'm going, where I am at this particular moment. I can just click on the snapshot and it takes me back to where I was. So that's a snapshot. I use them personally for crop. I want to get a different flavor of a crop. So in my case, just press the R tool and I could change the aspect ratio. So let's come in, let's say I want to make it a 16:9. And there's my 16:9 aspect ratio in my crop. Press return, there I go. And I would save this snapshot. So 16:9 crop. But then I decide, no, I don't like the 16:9 crop. I can jump back to the edit where I was and I can do a different crop. So press R and I can change my crop or go back to where I want. So let's say an 8:10. So there's my 8:10. Press return. And then I can just save the 8:10 crop as a preset. So 8:10 crop. And there I have them in my snapshot. So there's my 16:9, there's my 8:10, and that's how I use snapshots. Now what's the difference with virtual copies? Well, virtual copies, it puts an extra line in the database. Now why would you use a virtual copy? Well, it's normally to help you with stylization. There's a multitude of reasons, and what that allows us to do, if I just press G on my keyboard, I can go right click and create a virtual copy. And Classic will put an extra line in the database at the point in the history where I was. So there's my virtual copy. If I press I on the keyboard, you'll see it will say copy in the information. And now I can edit this in a particular way. So I press D and I can go to black and white. There's my black and white version. So if I now go back to grid by pressing G, highlight the two images. So I've got an active image and a selected image. Press N for survey mode. Tab will put them side by side. I can see both stylizations. So with a snapshot, you're just having one image, but you're recording the point in your history and you can move back to it at any time. Virtual copies is you've got two versions, but you do not have two files. Now let me show you this. So if I go right click on the actual image and go, in my case it's on Mac, so show in Finder, you'll see I'll have one file, the 66 file, and there is the unedited raw file. This is an exported JPEG file. Okay, so there is my raw file that's unedited. This is the same image, but it's got the turnover corner, which is a virtual copy, and it's a line in the database. So I'm not creating millions and millions of versions. Now I hope that's helped you today, the difference between a snapshot and a virtual copy. Please just visit lightroom.support, sign up for our newsletter, and I'll send you lots more information about different events, quick tips, replays, blog posts in my weekly newsletter. Take care, stay safe. Bye for now.